Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Ghetto vlog. We are kicking it off back in the city of Derby. If you watch the vlogs, you'll know a couple of weeks ago we came here, we visited Retro World, and they just had in all that fantastic Super Nintendo stuff. And I think I said at the time, whilst I did buy a couple of games I was very happy with, I kind of had non-buyer's remorse. So there's one that I've got on layaway, a very uncommon SNES game, so let's go and pick that up. And whilst we're here, we might as well look in the other video game shops as well, right? Let's go. Okay, came to Retro World to pick up one uncommon Super Nintendo game and ended up leaving with two uncommon Super Nintendo games. And right, next is Mobile Game Exchange. Let's keep it going. Okay, so I'm now in Eaton. If you saw Wednesday's video, you'll know why I'm all over the place, hunting for those 360 games. But obviously, while I'm in these areas, it makes sense to hunt charity shops, pawn shops, the CEX for everything other than 360 classics and everything in the middle. So let's see what else we can find. You got some there if you look. Yeah, if you don't mind, darling, thank you. How much are your games, love?
I've got one more.
Okay, thank you.
Lady brought it all this morning.
Did you want that? You didn't want those stars, did you? We only put them there to see how it was
Well, that was a nice find in that charity shop. I had to ask, she said there anything in the back. She bought some out and yeah, the pick of which, orange box. That's really shot up in value on the 360 recently, so great finds there. Let's keep going. They might be the highest charity shop video game prices ever seen. Wow. So if I remember rightly, last time we hunted Eaton, there's a Lego shop around here, so it should just be around this corner. Okay, let's go home. Okay, so if you saw Wednesday's video, you will know that we decided to do one final stop after Eaton. So I'm in Stafford and man, it was a good choice. Not only did we find some more of those 360 classics, but I found a couple of games that I didn't even know I needed. Well, one I've been after for quite some time. It's become uncommon and I think the value is going to skyrocket. But one, a steelbook, I didn't know it existed. So, I mean, you can't ask for much more than that from a CEX hunt, right? So, yeah, man, now we can get back. Let's go and take a look at everything. Aside from the 360 classics, you've already seen. Everything else. Okay, so it's been a few days since the footage that you've just seen. That was sort of all amalgamated with the footage I got for the Wednesday video of me going out and hunting those Xbox 360 classics. If you haven't seen that, make sure you go and check it out. I'm really happy with that new collection that we've started. Yet another new collection. But obviously, whilst I was going around my local area and going to so many different CXs, I obviously had to pop into all the different independent stores, cash converters, charity shops and everything in between. So we've inevitably picked up quite a few things, as well as some very rare Super Nintendo games right back at the start of the video when I spoke about going back to Retro World. So we'll start with the charity shop find. These were from Long Eaton, and yeah, aforementioned in the video, a pick of those was Orange Box. This is now an £18 game at CEX, and it's worked out really well for me because I already had this on the PlayStation 3. So I can just trade that version in. Like a lot of 360 games, it's now eclipsed the PS3 in terms of pricing, and I find that really interesting. I imagine there's a lot of people out there that bought a lot of games that were available on both systems on the PS3, probably paid more money for it, and it's now worth more on the 360, such is the way that you know, the game markets can change. Ultimately, obviously, people buy it for the system they want to play it on and own it for and collect for. But there's a couple of things where I wish I'd bought it on the 360. I've got like Asura's Wrath, and what else have I got? Afro Samurai. They're games I bought on the PS3, which have now become harder to attain and quite expensive on the 360. And I wish I had those versions. So yeah, it's just the way it goes, right? That's just how collecting goes and how things evolve. But yeah, very happy to have this one. Like I say, all of these cost me just £1 from that charity shop. There was also a copy of Shadowrun. Don't know much about this one, so let me know if any of these are good games, because these are not games I've got any experience with. Halo Wars, which I've already got. I used this as a donor case for one of those 360 classics. And yeah, it just sort of made it so that Long Eaton wasn't a waste of time. Besides the chicken, besides the good snacks, right? And yeah, because there was no 360 classics. It's a very small CEX, but there are loads of charity shops. So yeah, I managed to find some games in the charity shop. Also found this gentleman. I use the term loosely. He was clearly a big fan of everything I'm doing, so shout out to him. He was in Long Eaton as well. Retro Ghetto's biggest fan, I think, there. So shout out to you, sir. And yeah, so from there, as I said on the video, I went to, where did I go? Stafford. Now, I bought a lot of stuff from Stafford. Not only all those 360 classics that we found, but I also picked up quite a few games. Now, the first few are nothing special, and then we get to some like decent stuff towards the end. So I just picked up a couple of games initially, just because they're just versions that you don't really see very often, and they're very cheap. So this is Halo 4, but it's the bundle copy, so it's the Game of the Year edition. I don't know if this is on the disc or if it's a code. It does say bundle copy, so it has got its specific disc that it should have. So if it is part of the disc, the Game of the Year edition, then that's good news, because I say I've got the right disc for it. But yeah, just for £1.50, I'll swap these out and get the sort of, what would I call it, like the less common version of it, the variant of it. And in a similar vein, Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Now, I'm not actually sure if I own this one or not, to be honest, but this is the signature edition, and yeah, I think this just has Kinect compatibility and whatnot, so probably a few different, it's a signature edition, yeah, Winter Digital weapon camouflage, exclusive co-op map, headgear, skins, you know, all that kind of stuff you get with FPS online games. So yeah, I just figured it was worth picking up these games that you don't see too often to add to the collection. Excuse me. Hay fever's killing me. Also, if I start melting throughout this segment, we're in the middle of a heat wave, and I went to Aldi, of all places. I cheaped out to buy a fan, and the fan's fine. Except it sounds like when I bought Red Dead Redemption 2 home and gave it to my old PlayStation 4 before I upgraded to the PS4 Pro. It's that loud. So I can't have it on while I'm filming or you wouldn't hear me, which you might say is an upgrade. But yeah, so if I slowly start melting throughout this, you know why. So yeah, that was those, the ones that aren't too exciting. And I picked up a steelbook. There was a steelbook in there. I'd never seen it before, and it was cheap, just £2.50. I don't know much about the game. And that is Agents of Mayhem. I did have a look because I thought this might be an online game only, but it isn't. You can play this offline, which is good. Nice steelbook as well. For what, £2.50, it has to be worth picking up, right? I did quickly Google Agents of Mayhem, and I think the first thing that came up on the Google search was, why did Agents of Mayhem fail? So yeah, I'm not expecting big things from this, but it does look like an interesting game. And like I say, I'm not going to leave a nice steelbook behind for £2.50. So yeah, happy with that one. Thank you for that. Thank you. Hi, do you want to say hi to the camera, mate? You want to say hello? Here he is. We've got an intruder. Look, who's this? Oh! Thank you.
Nice.
That's lovely. Okay, so if you're going to interrupt me whilst I'm filming, interrupt me with a nice drink and a cute baby. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, the Stafford store. You guys will know I'm going for a subset of arcade racers and one-on-one fighters. This was just a one-on-one fighter that I didn't have, and that is Dead or Alive 5. The Dead or Alive franchise isn't one that I've ever really put much time into. This was the 2012 release, developed by Team Ninja. The first entry since Dead or Alive 2 actually has cross-platform compatibility. I think they were all PlayStation before that. It does have guest characters from the Virtual Fighter franchise as well, so that's quite interesting. And yeah, I love playing games like this on my kiosk, so I'm sure I'll be trying this out very soon. If not, I have already tried it out. You'll probably be seeing overlay footage of me playing it. I love doing that with these games, just going through the roster of characters, just having a quick bash of the buttons, and yeah, just seeing what they're all about. So yeah, very happy to have added that one to my 360 collection. So these are probably my favourite pickups from Stafford. The first one is a steelbook that I've never seen before. Yeah, I don't know how common or uncommon it is, but it's in really nice condition. So yeah, I wasn't going to leave it behind. And that is Lost Planet, the limited edition with the art book and CD, but it's Lost Planet Extreme Condition, to give it its full title. Now, I thought this was some sort of like variant of the game, because I didn't know that Lost Planet's full title was Extreme Condition. I might be wrong, let me know in the comment section. I've never played a Lost Planet game before, so I don't know too much about them. All I know is it's a Capcom game. I think it's one of them first-person shooters that's over the shoulder, but you can also switch to third person, which I prefer third person, so that's pretty good for me. This was originally supposed to be an Xbox 360 exclusive, but did end up coming across to PlayStation and PC, I believe. So yeah, this release is January 2007, and like I say, I think this is just the first release. But it comes with, well, let's see what it comes with. Yeah, so it comes with a bonus DVD, bonus CD, and art book, and it's all in here. So I'm just looking now at the collectible art book. Yeah, everything you'd expect, really nice artwork. And what really pulled me in was the condition of the sleeve. Look at that, it's almost mint, right? So often these spines are bashed up at the top and the bottom. This is in real nice condition, and there's not much rust on it either, which again, this kind of generation of steelbooks, they didn't age very well at all. So I thought that was a fantastic find for just £6. Really happy with that one. And that takes me nicely to my final Stafford CEX find. This is a game that I've been actively pursuing. I've been looking for this one because it's become quite uncommon. There's only 9 copies of this left now in CEX, I believe, and it's going up in value, and I think that keep going up. I think it's actually gone up a couple of quid in a few days since I bought this one, and that is Lost Planet 3. So as I aforementioned, with Lost Planet, it's not a series I've ever put much time into, but yeah, this is undoubtedly one that is going to go up in value. Seemingly quite uncommon already, and I only see that trend continuing to grow. I was hoping I could find this in person before it became scarce, because a lot of 360 games now have just disappeared. There's a lot of games that I think a lot of people, myself included, are thinking, oh, why didn't I buy that when it was £3, £4, £5? I mean, you can't buy them all, right? But yeah, there's so many that have now become very expensive via eBay and constantly sold out at CEX. So I definitely envisage this one going the same way. So if you're a 360 collector, pick this one up now while there's still a few copies of it in CEX, because it won't be around for long. So yeah, I think that was a really good haul from Stafford CEX, combined with the classics that I managed to pick up. And then that takes me to where this all started. Derby, going back to Retro World. So a few weeks now, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, we went to Retro World. They had all that Super Nintendo stuff in, and I was the first person to see it. And it was Big Sky, isn't it? I always need to clarify the exact name of this one. Big Sky Trooper was what I came away with. An expensive, very uncommon game on the system, and I was really happy with that. But I did come away with non-buyer's remorse. There was a couple of other titles that I thought, I wish I'd bought that. One of these actually wasn't on display. I would have bought it at the time, but I think he was still sort of working out the pricing and cleaning them up, de-stripping them and whatever. So I messaged and I purchased that one. But when I was there, I also saw this one. I thought, yeah, this is another one that you don't see very often. I need it for my collection. And that is Toys.
So this is, of course, based on the Robin Williams film of the same name. So this was a 1992 release. Now, I've seen most Robin Williams films, but for whatever reason, I didn't see this. I remember it coming out when I was younger and just thinking it looked a bit out there, a bit wacky. So you have to let me know in the comment section if Toys is a decent film. Don't know anything about it, as I say. On the back, it used to be a happy place where people loved to make innocent little toys for kids of all ages, but times have changed. Now the evil General Zevo's in charge, and he's manufacturing an army of dangerous military weapons disguised as toys that threaten to destroy everything Zevo Toys stands for. Doesn't anyone have the courage to stop this power-hungry madman? I do! I say that. I don't know when I'm going to get around to playing it, but like I say, very uncommon, this one. Don't think I've ever seen it in person before, so yeah, nice selected collection. I got this for a really good price as well, so yeah, shout out to Retro World as always. But this is the very uncommon one. This is a game that never seen it in person. I don't know anybody else that has got it. I've not seen it in anyone's collection, and it's very expensive on eBay. Again, I got it for a decent price, and that is Turbo Toons. So this is a 1994 racing game. You can play as one of 6 playable characters from the Hanna-Barbera classic cartoons, each with different capabilities in terms of their racing mechanics. Apparently this one had a very difficult development cycle. I think Hanna-Barbera was apparently notoriously difficult to work with when it came to this game because the exacting standards that the characters had to look just like the cartoon. So I think that affected the style of game. I mean, if you're looking at the footage now, you'll see it's not like most games. You can sort of see the whole track, see each character, and I think that was designed because, as I say, they had to look exactly like the on-screen character portrayals. But yeah, it makes it a very interesting one. Very uncommon, this one. Not one you see at all, so that's why I had to get it, right? I thought, I don't want this one to pass through my fingertips, especially looking at some of the prices on eBay. And it's a nice green box, so you know we can definitely find a home for it on the rainbow Super Nintendo wall as it's currently set up. So very happy to be adding 2 rare, or should I say uncommon, Super Nintendo games to my collection, as well as all the other things that we found. So I think all in all, that and the 360 classics that we found to start the new set, I think that was a very successful trip out, a great way to kick off this vlog, and there's loads to now be doing here. I've already been to IKEA. I've been saying for a few weeks how there's a big change in here. I've been to IKEA, I've got everything I need, so we're going to get to that. Also, now the weather is finally guaranteed to stay dry. I say that through pursed lips because it is still the UK. It could be raining by the time I go outside, to be honest. We can crack on with the Ghetto Gym, get some of the painting done, so we might have to fly to Wix and pick up any things that we need to get that project underway as well. But yeah, we're going to be doing some big changes both in here and outside, so let's crack on. Also, as always, there's loads of parcels to open, including these 2 big ones that I've got from last week's vlog that we never got around to. Really excited to these, but let's get a few outdoor projects done and then we'll jump into these. But first things first, let's cut the grass, trim the hedge before it gets too hot out here. Oh, that's one job done, on to the next. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. Castlevania and drinking tea wasn't part of the original plan, right? I was supposed to be painting the 3.0, but jobs have a habit of spiralling. So I ended up doing the back garden, the front garden, all the hedges, and between getting covered in weed killer and pollen, which is even more deadly, yeah, I had to have a second shower in as many hours. And you know what? I think I'm done with outside activities. So I'm just going to enjoy my tea, try and beat this level on Castlevania, and then we're going to crack on with the projects indoors, right? Yeah, I've had enough of outdoors already.
I accept my fate. Can you accept yours? I am not worthy. I am not of pure heart.
Okay, so first shelf is up. I measured about 5 times to make sure. Keeps flickering. There we go, power of the force. So yeah, I think it's going to look really good. You can see already, without Kratos being there, it almost sort of like opens the room up. I'm not ruling out Kratos going back up there somewhere, but it just does give you that kind of more open view of the room. So yeah, I'm going to quickly get the next two up now, and I think it is going to be Mega Drive that I'm going to extend across. The reason being is Game Boy games are smaller, so they won't fit right. But I didn't want to put more shelves in or have them set out differently to these ones, because it was all about the continuity of it running across. I think it'd look odd if you put 4 in or didn't have them exactly spaced as these ones are. Also, what I'm probably going to do is try and fit maybe one more game in on these rows and push a lot of these games out, similar to how Ranger X is because of that sign, just to create, just to slightly shorten that a gap. The reason being is I couldn't have the exact same gap this side to that side, because there isn't enough wall space. It doesn't really matter because you're not dealing with a straight edge. I'm obviously what's equidistant from that to the shelf, compared to that to the shelf, compared to that to the shelf, compared to that to the shelf is all very different anyway, so it's not going to be a huge eyesore. But theoretically, I would have potentially had this maybe an inch or so slightly that way. So these could potentially get moved along, but they're all things that we'll worry about once it's all up and yeah, ready to put games on. So let's crack on. Okay, we are done. All the shelves are up. We won't get the full effect obviously until the games are on. But yeah, in terms of the shelves being where I want them to be, straight, level, job done. But before we finish this off and get the shelves filled up and find Kratos a new home, let's open these parcels. I've been waiting too long for these and there's some bangers in here. Oh, it's getting hot. Right, okay, so without further ado, let's get into these parcels. Like I said, a couple of these have been here now for, I think, 2 weeks. I was supposed to open them on last week's vlog, we ran out of time. This is a newer one. I think this is a gift. Let's have a look. Let's see what we've got. Just looking at my new shelves. Excited to fill them up. Because I've done that, but I've not got the full effect because obviously I've not put anything on them yet. I'm still, like, I don't know, so yeah, let's get through these. Okay, let's see if there's a note in here first. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. This time, there is a note. Dear Callum, continuing to love your content, so I thought I'd send over these games for the Xbox 360. Such and such a game has a cracked spindle, but should be okay, and such game needs a manual. Keep up the great content, Chris, Retro Chris, on eBay, Retro Gaming Junction. Shout out to Chris, and shout out to his eBay page. He's got a lot of good stuff on there actually. I'll try and remember to post a link, if not you'll be seeing it on screen now, Chris's eBay page. So yeah, massive shout out to you sir, thank you very much. So the first one we've got on here is Ace Combat Assault Horizon Limited Edition. I don't think I own this one on the 360, I think I've got it on the PS3. Obviously I go for all the cardboard, right? I used to just say Nintendo cardboard, but the reality is it's all the cardboard. Yeah, nice bit of Xbox 360 cardboard there, thank you my friend. And yes, okay, so if you watched last week's vlog, you saw that I went to that, is it JJ's Junk and Gems in Matlock? And I picked this up, but some of the stuff was very overpriced. This was £15 in there. And that is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Really nice steelbook, this one. I've been after this one for a little while. I was hoping to find it in a CEX, but I don't need to anymore, thanks to my friend Chris.
I do actually have another Rainbow Six Steelbook, I'm sure I do, the one that's got the Eiffel Tower on it. Very similar Steelbook. It might be the first Vegas game, I can't remember. I always get confused with the amount of different Tom Clancy games there are, but really happy to be adding that to my collection. So massive shout out to you for that one, mate. Yeah, man. And last one, we've just spoke not long ago about me going for the full set of one-on-one fighters. This is something that I own, again, on the PlayStation 3. I own the special edition of it. Maybe I should let that go, or maybe try and get the special edition on the 360 and then let the PS3 one go, but the time to do that, like I say, was probably a few months or a year or so ago, right? Because now we're getting to that point where 360 games and collector's editions are becoming more valuable than the PS3 counterpart. So, that game anyway is Street Fighter X Tekken. A game that got quite a lot of negative feedback, I think. The original plan for this was to do a Tekken X Street Fighter, so for there to be a Street Fighter characters in the Tekken style, whereas this is Tekken characters in the Street Fighter style. It's a shame that never happened. It'd been really interesting to see. The short time I've spent with this, I've really enjoyed it. Whilst I love one-on-one fighters, I'm not what I would call an enthusiast. I'm not one of these people that can break down every individual frame data and say that he's overpowered, she's this, the game's rubbish. I'm not on that level. I know some people like take fighters seriously, like very seriously, and I wish I was as good as those people, but I'm not. For me, a casual player, I actually enjoyed this one, so yeah, really happy to add that to the collection. Another one that I can now play on the kiosk, so yeah, massive shout out to you, Chris. 3 absolute bangers there, mate. Many thanks. And that now takes us to these 2 big parcels, these long overdue parcels, right? This has come from my Polish pal. I've been speaking about my Polish pal for years now on this channel. He's done me so many good deals. But I'm so happy to get this because in here we've got PS4 hits, but also, more importantly, PS3 essentials that have come from Poland that are some of the last ones that I needed for my collection. I think once we open this, there's just one game which is coming from the Netherlands. Shout out to Misha. Once I have that in my possession, I've then got all the PS3 essentials that I've paid for, and the hunt is on for the final 3, and we'll get to those shortly. I'll tell you guys what the final 3 are. So yeah, it's just so nice to finally have all these games in one place, have them in my possession, because at one point there was like the best part of 100 games that I'd paid for that were all over Europe, and yeah, it's nice to finally have pretty much all of them in one place. What is this? This must be a bonus you sent me. A little Hercules. I'll pass that on to RG Junior. Shout out to you, mate. Right, okay, so I know that he wasn't able to package these as you'd expect because his partner flew to Poland. Shout out to her for doing this for me as well, by the way. If you're watching, absolute legend. I'm sure you've got better things to be doing when you fly back to Poland than messing around with games for me. But I think she only had hand luggage, so like space was at a premium. Right, okay, let's see what we got. Yes. So this is some of the stuff that he'd found for me here in the UK. And this is the bangers that have come from Poland. So let's start with the UK stuff. My Polish pal, I don't think he wants to be named. He's an avid hunter, always in charity shops, always in CEX. Very much an enabler, right? He's always sending me messages saying, "Oh, I found this. Do you want me to grab it for you?" And more often than not, I send him some money and he picks them up for me. So the first one, I think this was a CEX find actually. It's been such a long time since he messaged me about this. And that is the Project Cars, but it's the limited edition. Unfortunately, it's not in the best condition. A little bit of damage to it. But yeah, nice to have. This was only a £5. It's been a long time since I bought that one. I forgot about it, to be honest. So yeah, nice one for that. And then I think these are charity shop finds. Like myself, he is a hip hop fan. And these are just some that he found in the charity shop. So we've got 2 packs until the end of time. I think I might already have this. Oh, nice. I used to have this back in the day. I spoke a few times about my original hip hop collection. I used to have a massive CD collection, and yeah, Mrs. RG convinced me when we first got together that I didn't need it because it took up so much room, and I did that thing and threw all them away and kept the CDs. It was a mistake, right? You learn from your mistakes. But this is one I used to own. So this is the Bone Thugs and Harmony E99 Eternal. Yeah, good album. D12 World. And Straight Outta Compton. So yeah, some absolute classics in there, some real nice hip hop to go on the shelf. And right, let's get to the good stuff then. So this is the stuff that has come from Poland. One of these games here could arguably be the rarest game in my entire collection. And I don't say that lightly. So, let's get into these first. So as I said, these have come from Poland, and I think these have been flat packed. I don't think they've got their cases because there's quite a few games here. She wasn't able to get them all in hand luggage, which is fine. I've got quite a few spare and duplicate PS3 games that I can switch these out for. But some very rare, very hard to find essentials in here. It goes without saying, right? If they weren't, I wouldn't have to go to Poland for them. And yeah, just absolutely buzzing to finally have some of these in my collection. I'm going to be careful with them because I don't want to damage the sleeves as I'm going through them. They have been really well packaged though, to be fair. Okay, so I think all the discs have come separately. And then, yeah, so here we go. So, I'm just going to show you guys the sleeves. There's no point in me going through everything. All the manuals and stuff are in the middle. So I'll take them out now. So we've got Wolfenstein: The New Order. Now, if there's any Essentials hunters out there, you'll know how rare some of these are. Soul Calibur 5. I think there is a couple in here that I've since got. Medal of Honor Warfighter. Move Fitness. Enslaved. Virtua Tennis 4, that's one that I've since got. Resident Evil Revelations. And Dead Rising 2, which I think is another one that I've since got. So, yeah, like I say, with those and the one I've got coming from the Netherlands, I'm down to 3 PS3 Essentials. The 3 PS3 Essentials, guys, if anybody out there can help, right? This is a big plea. I need FIFA 17, I need Vanquish, and I need Call of Juarez the Cartel. FIFA 17, Vanquish, Call of Juarez the Cartel. Those are the last 3 I need to achieve the impossible, right? That's what it's felt like at times. This will be by far my greatest ever collecting achievement, getting all the PS3 Essentials. I've said I made a video before, I genuinely think I'll be the first person in the world to do so. People keep telling me that there's a guy who's got a video online. I know, we've been in communication with him, myself and the Ghetto Gang. He doesn't have the full set. He had quite a few missing from his collection and he's packed them all away, so I don't know if he's still actively trying to get them. So yeah, we're down to the final 3. There was about 5 or 6, but I think we've worked out that some of them don't exist. There's no proof that they exist anyway. So yeah, final 3 guys. If anybody can help me out, hook you up, finder's fee, whatever. Yeah, I'll be eternally grateful. But let's get to this one. So this is a PS4 Hits, and this, like I say, could be genuinely one of the rarest games in my collection. And that is a sealed copy, which is nice, of Gundam Versus on PS4 Hits. Now, the reason I know how rare this game is, there might be some PS4 Hits collectors out there that haven't seen this one or didn't even know that this one was part of the set. There's a lot of PS4 Hits collectors on the Ghetto Gang. This was the one that nobody knew if it existed. This was the one people were hoping didn't exist because nobody could find it. Until, shout out to my friend, my Polish pal, he found a copy of this for me in Poland. And sadly for the rest of the Ghetto Gang, there was only one copy at this place where we got it from. It was a random shop in Poland. There was no others. I think since then, 2 have cropped up that the Ghetto Gang have been able to get a hold of. I know there's been a lot of loose dead ends. I know a lot of people have ordered it and then it's come and it's been the standard version. But this, if you're a PS4 Hits collector, you think it's going to be quite an easy journey because there's not many, this is the one you need. Gundam Versus, it's not a particularly cheap game anyway, but in this format, it's seemingly impossible to find. So yeah, absolutely delighted with that, and I've got to give my Polish pal the biggest of shout outs, right, because he's hooked me up. I can't even put it to words how much he's hooked me up. I'd still be searching for a lot of those Essentials and I would still be banging my head against the wall questioning whether Gundam Versus exists. So massive shout out to you, my friend. And then this takes me to this one. Now this this is amazing, but it's gonna lead to something which I'm not very happy about, which we'll get to shortly. So this is from my friend Nikki. Shout out to Nikki, Ghetto Gang member, and all-around bad man. Very active member on the Discord, very kind, always helping people out, always posting links for cheap games, always finding stuff. He's helped me with a lot of my PS4 hits, a lot of my essentials. Yeah, just an all-round top bloke. And ooh, nearly hit my foot. And Nikki is seemingly a dab hand when it comes to fixing things. So that might give you a clue as to what is in here. So I sent this off to Nikki, and the turnaround was insane. He had them fixed within like a couple of hours, and within a few days they were back in my possession. And there's a game in here which he found for me as well. So my head keeps getting cut off. It's a new camera angle. I thought I'd take advantage of having this chair in here whilst I've been in the show. Give you something different to look at. Right, okay. So this was the original box I sent these in. Shout out to Kev for the fragile tape. Okay. So, let's see what we have in here. Trying to find the game. Here it is. Earth Defense Force. It's got slightly squashed, but it's no damage or anything. So that's good. So yeah, Nikki found this for me in a CEX. Earth Defense Force, PS4 hits. I don't know how many away I am now. I think, actually, Nikki's, another one Nikki's done for me. He got me some of these, another more rare PS4 hits from Germany. He's got like a warehouse there, and Nikki's the man, let me tell you. If you're a part of the Ghetto Gang, then yeah, these contacts come in vital, let me tell you. So I've got another few rare PS4 hits coming via his German warehouse. And yeah, I'm looking forward to them. I think once they arrive, I'm down to about 3. There's not many PS4 hits. Hopefully before long, fingers crossed, I'll have the PS4 hits done. And I don't even know, guys. I can't sit here and say that PS3 Essentials is going to be done because I don't know. Like, I'm sort of at the favour of the gods, right? I don't know. I've spent so long trying to find these games. These final 3, they're just... It's almost like... I'm still not 100% sure they exist, to be honest. The only reason I think FIFA 17 exists is because someone's found the disc. There's a copy of the disc floating around on the internet. I don't know. Hopefully one of you guys watching can help me. Anyway, let's get to it. So, a few weeks ago on the vlog, I mentioned how my Xbox 360 had stopped working. Well, Nicky the Wizard hooked me up. I think he said it was the capacitors. He's put new thermal paste in it. You know, all that kind of maintenance stuff that you're probably supposed to do with these old systems that I haven't got a clue how to do. He did all that, and yeah, it now runs like a dream. The reason I said this is good and bad is because this now means that I can play My Horse and Me too. You guys did it. You gave me 1,000 likes on that video. I haven't forgotten. So probably tonight... It's not very often I get nights to myself gaming. I should be finishing Castlevania, but I'm probably going to be playing My Horse and Me too. So if you liked that video, this is your fault. But yeah, really happy to have that back. And not only that, this, I don't know if I've spoke about this being faulty on the channel, and that is my Pearl White GameCube. So this was a fantastic CEX lottery. Pearl White GameCube, it was only in stock as a reduced one, so you'd expect it to come either battered or with a third-party controller. It didn't. It came with a first-party controller. It was filthy, but I cleaned it up. It was great, worked a treat, couldn't have been better. The £55 I think I paid for this is what the Pearl White controllers go for on their own, so it was fantastic. However, over time, it just kept getting less and less reliable when it came to reading discs, until the point where it just refused to read them at all. It was still under warranty with CEX, but because of how cheap this was, I didn't want to take it back. I didn't want to return it. I didn't want them to take my controller off me. Like, I didn't want to lose that for the sake of £55. So shout out to Nicky, who fixed this for me as well. I think he just did like a case swap. And what else did he do? He's also modded this. So I don't know these wizards, man. I don't know what people do these days. But there's something in here. Maybe a chip or something. SD card. Which has ROMs on it. I'm probably getting this all wrong. Basically, he's fully loaded this with some games. So, like, not only does it now work, it now reads discs, he's also put a load of games on it for me. So, we'll, at some point on one of these vlogs, we'll get to that and we'll go through it all. But yeah, just massive shout out to Nicky. Can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me in fixing both these consoles, hooking me up with so many rare games as well. So just an all-round legend, the top man, and it's a pleasure to have you on the Ghetto Gang, my friend. So yeah, 2 consoles back in my life, a load of stuff, some rare games, our PS3 essentials. We need to get them put in boxes and added to the collection. Yeah, I think you can see now why I was so eager to get these boxes open. But we're going to tidy up. Hopefully we'll have time to do the shelves today. If not, next time you see me, I'll be playing My Horse and Me Too.
Okay, so I've decided I'm going to try the GameCube first. I mean, let's be honest, anything to delay My Horse and Me Too. Right, so this is what we're met with. So it's a different intro screen now. What's he put on here? Wind Waker, Need for Speed, Paper Mario. I don't know if this is all the games he's put on. I know he said he only put a few on, and he sort of sent me a link as to how I can add more. Let's see if there's anything in these folders. Apologies for the camera, I'm trying to use. Oh, there's loads in here, look. All the Mario parties, Mega Man. Oh, nice. Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. 4 Swords? That is a game I've never played. Yeah, whatever, mate. Oh, yeah. Not gonna lie, right? Me getting into emulation is a slippery slope. I've got too many physical games that I've spent a lot of money on, but yeah, I don't collect handheld, so having games like this, love that. That's this is sort of where my emulation. I need to have a level. I think we need to stick to handheld games, right? Yeah, this is good. This is good to know. I'm gonna have a little play around on this, make sure it works okay, and then I suppose I best check the Xbox 360. Well, that was fun, but I feel like I've delayed the inevitable for long enough. Will it go green? Will it go green? Will it go green? Oh, yes, Nicky. What a man. Starting to wish I still had the red ring of death. Oh dear. Right, let's go for it. If you can hear the fan, I'm making no apologies. If I'm playing this game, at least I'm going to do it cool and comfortable. I say cool. I've got my broken glasses that I sat on the other week, so I look far from cool, but let's go. I don't know what we can call ourselves. We'll just go with Emma. We'll be Emma. Amateur. I feel like I'm definitely an amateur at this. Oh, okay. What we're going to do? What are we doing here? We'll go pale. We'll try and make the female version of me, shall I? Blue eyes. Oh, fancy. You can't change. There's no bold, guys. We can't go bold. That'll do. Oh, you know what? I might go redhead. Let's go redhead. Redhead Emma. Should we have a red horse as well? Oh.
You're not my Uncle Roger.
Sure I am. fresh air and good feet keep me looking young.
Right. I guess the fresh air also made you taller, changed your hair color, shaved your mustache.
Oh, it's discreet, but I'm noticing a bit of flirting.
I'm Brandon. Roger's in the house, I think.
Like the best tucked into the jeans.
Horses are... Hi, Emma. You look fantastic. And I hear your riding's getting better and better. Been eating some races? Hey, Caitlin. Definitely. The way
There's a new redhead in town. All right, Caitlin. Get your eyes off my man.
Hey, stop chatting and get to work.
Yeah.
Is that any way to welcome a guest? Gotta go, Emma. Work to do. See you around.
Emma? Oh, there's my little filly.
What's going on? Brandon, mix the
He's
feet.
creepy, isn't he?
Caitlin, check Mr. Twister's hooves and walk triple Z.
Oh, it's Cheryl. She always sounds like she has birds under her saddle. See you around, Emma.
So,
I'll see
this
you
must
first.
be the niece.
That's right. The best rider in Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's
Now
creepy,
she's
mate.
ready for the big time in Kentucky.
Roger, please. One rider will make a difference. You should have sold what...
Ah, let's seen enough of that now. Let's crack on. Yes. Right, we're grooming the horse. My uncle's doing some grooming of his own, but we're going to groom the horse. What are we doing now? Oh my god, it's like track and field. Yeah. Oh, he loves it, look. He absolutely loves it. Where's she sticking that? What did she do with that? Oh no, as if. Where's she reaching? I don't like this, people. Do you need his eyes cleaning? Clean your eyes. As you can see, the horse has trod in a load of mushy peas. It's up to me to get rid of them. There we go. Oh, Starlight! Starlight's got to have a star. Blue. White. That's it, done. Oh, too fast, too fast, too. So slow it down, mate. Oh dear. Oh dear, we're going for it. We are going for it. Oh, missed one. Missed two. I mean, what age is this game aimed at? And I'm struggling here. Let's go again. So basically, as you can see on the right, the corresponding colours are assigned to the different speeds at which you can go on the horse. And you have to be at a certain speed to get certain colour stars. So you basically accelerate and decelerate depending on what colour the stars are. It's actually not that bad. The gameplay itself isn't bad at all. And then we've got jumps, you just have to make sure that you're straight in the middle. So now we're going up to the next one. So we haven't got to pink yet. So I don't know how fast and crazy it gets.
Oh, that was beautiful. Just beautiful. Well done.
Oh, we're at pink. Oh! You know it's fast when you've got those go faster stripes on the screen. No, no, I missed all the stars. Look how creepy Uncle is. Watch when you walk past him. Look how he follows you. Look, watch. Look. Clearly checking me out. Watch it. Get your eyes up here. Dirty uncle. Right, let's get ready for my first competition. I didn't think she had any trousers on then. That's weird, isn't it? Which one's pink? Yes. That's what I'm talking about. We'll go with a nice... Yeah. White gloves, that's fine. Blue. We'll go red. Oh, lovely job. Dressed to impress. Oh, lovely. You're not going to believe me. You're genuinely not going to believe me. So, I had to plug in my 360 controller because I use a wired one. I accidentally pressed the open disc tray thing. It opened it. It's gone. The game's gone. All the progress has gone. And I'm not going to lie, I'm genuinely gutted because I've groomed my horse, got my outfit, went through all the training. My plan was to go to the first competition, win the competition, and then say thank you for the 1,000 likes, but I think that's enough. I did all that and didn't even get to the competition. I don't think it's saved. So I'm disappointed, and I feel like I owe 1,000 apologies. So I think at some point we're going to have to play this game again. But I cannot face another 2 hours of grooming and that's a weird sentence. And training. But like this video if you want to see me do it again. Oh man, genuinely annoyed by that. Anyway, let's play a bit of Castlevania, shall we? Retro Ghetto. Good morning. Yes, it's the next day, and I've just about recovered from my My Horse and Me 2 experience. Honestly, genuinely really disappointed that I got that far and wasn't able to, pardon the pun, get over the final hurdle. We will have to revisit that game. There's definitely unfinished business now, so it looks like I'll be playing My Horse and Me 2 again. But in terms of today, very clear agenda for me. I want this room looking better than ever. That means we need to finish off this section over here. We need to find a home for Kratos. We want to get everything put away, everything tidied. It's been too many weeks since this room's been perfect. There's always been jobs that have been outstanding, things that have been bunched up in certain corners. No more. Today we figure that out. Firstly, I've got to nip out. I've got to nip out to my local, so I'll probably pop in CEX. And then once we get back, we're going to crack on and get this done. And we are back. Just a flying visit to the local. You've all seen my CEX enough times now, I'm sure. I picked up Killzone Shadowfall PS4 hits, simply because it's somewhat of an uncommon one in hits format. It's just £2.50. I already have it, so I'll probably be giving this away to one of the fellow PS4 hits collectors over on the Ghetto Gang Discord. And I had to pick this one up. Real nice sleeve cover. It's got like a gold shimmer to it. I think it was Ross over at Bahaha recently saw talking about Just Cause games. I think he said he preferred the sort of mindless blow-up fun of Just Cause 3. But I've never played any of the games in the franchise, so yeah, it's a good place to start, I figured. If not, I'll jump into 3 as recommended by Bahaha. But yeah, real nice sleeve cover, and shout out to Manesh for the hookup on that one. So yeah, now we're back. Let's get this sorted out. So I think I said yesterday I'm going to put Mega Drive games over there just for the continuity, right? This is kind of my vision. I want the logo to just look as if it's framed and it's just in the middle of a continuation of games. So I guess what I've got to figure out now is, stop that flickering again. What I've got to figure out now is which games I'm going to put there.
Do I put blue spines there, or I suppose I might as well try Game Boy games there, just because why not? I don't think it'll work, but might as well take a look. You know what? It actually looks pretty good, right? I'm a bit surprised by that. I'm a bit taken aback. I didn't expect it to look that good. The problem is, obviously, it only houses 12, and I've got 13, 14, 15, 6. I've got 16. So theoretically, maybe I should have put another shelf on, then I could have had 4 rows, but then it wouldn't be the continuity between the 2 sets. Yeah, not gonna lie though, it does look pretty good. But let's try Mega Drive. Well, I've got to say, I love it when a plan comes together. It just looks great. It looks like everything I wanted. Just that an extension of that wall. Frames the logo perfectly. This always films in some sort of weird way or another. Now we've got flickering, but you get the idea, right? In person, this all looks absolutely fantastic. With regards to the games, this can be moved around. I just wanted to grab 3 trilogies and then just put an additional game on the end of each one. But yeah, it's exactly what I wanted in terms of framing the logo, the continuation of that. And not only all of that, like I say, it opens it all up. Because Kratos was here before and it was so big, it just now gives the room more space. I think I'm going to get rid of the Hercules Hydra. As much as I love that and I've got nostalgia attached to it, I've had my time with it. It just seems to be a bit of clutter now and we don't want any more clutter in here. So, yeah, it couldn't have worked out any better. Now we need to turn our attention to this gentleman here. Where's he going to go? Right, so I found a temporary solution for Kratos. It's only really me and Little Man that come in here often at the minute, and he can still comfortably sit there. We will do something with him, but for now, he's there. I tried to implement it over here, but the footfall, the base of the statue was too big. But I have been very busy. It's been, like I say, a couple of hours now since I last filmed. I've been cleaning and tidying and basically trying to get this room to a point where I can end this vlog saying it's looking better than ever. But like I said, I've implemented a lot of changes, so I want to talk you guys through it. I've taken a couple of items out of here. So the Hydra and the PlayStation 3 God of War Ascension console. Both items I really enjoy, both items that will go into storage, but you know, you keep adding things to your collection. Eventually you have to move some things out, otherwise it does become too cluttered. So let me talk you through the changes. Like I say, we already know about this. We've been through this. I absolutely love it, and I love how it's opened up everything here. That is where Hydra was, and yeah, sometimes less is more. I think it now makes more of the standee. It's about emphasising what you already have, as opposed to trying to get as many things in and around in the space as you can. And that's exactly what I've done here. I love this statue, and it was kind of a bit hidden before. Here with a white backdrop, I think you can really appreciate it in all its glory. So I think it was Jimmy that was there before, yep, from Pulp Fiction. He's now slotted into that gap nicely. Might not be a forever home, but he's wearing red. He fits in the gap. It's done the trick as far as I'm concerned. And then we get down to Game Boy games. And again, I would like to have had more of the artwork on display, but I still think it looks cool displaying them in this way, having that sort of like consistency of the Game Boy sign written across the bottom of them. So yeah, happy enough with that as well. And we implemented all the change last week to the PlayStation 3 area, so that's all been sorted out. And yeah, the only thing that needs sorting out in here still is this down here. These are like double, triple stacked, and that's just new stuff. That's literally stuff we've added in the last couple of weeks. That'll all get sorted out on next week's montage. 360 area, I'm going to do a bit of an overhaul. This lower area with a lot of the collector's editions I think could look better, so that's something we'll do in the future. You may also notice that for the same reasons as aforementioned with the Hydra, I have moved Hagar, just because again I wanted Master Chief to be on his own. I didn't like the fact that he was there. It just felt like clutter. Everything has a home, but on the shelves are full, and to me that's what I want. I don't want stuff everywhere. But before we get into that in more detail, Hagar is up here. Found the perfect spot for him, right? There's a little awkward gap up there anyway as to where the Super Nintendo games didn't meet the wall's edge. And I wanted him to be in and amongst the Super Nintendo games, so he's perfect up there. And I've been threatening for months to finally house a couple of these rare Nintendo figures. This is genuinely one of my favourite things in the room. The biggest compliment I can pay this little guy is that I would probably pay the going value for this if I had to. Love that. So obviously he had to go with GameCube, which meant the old school Mario shampoo bottle that was there before had to be moved. And he's now found a perfect home here. So he now acts as like a bookend, if you like, for the standing Super Nintendo games. Here is where I had Ryu and Sagat before. These guys are forever in purgatory, right? Again, some of my favourite things in this room. I would like to make more of them, but at least now they're on a shelf. Yeah, they're not in the way or anything. So they at some point will probably get moved, but they're going there for now. Super Nintendo games, this is obviously a very ugly shelf. These are just thrown together. I'm thinking about stacking them down here at some point. But I do have a longer plan. There is a long game when it comes to Super Nintendo. With me only just having over half the collection now, obviously we've got to get creative. I do have a plan, but we'll get to that in a future episode. And I think that's pretty much everything, apart from what I was discussing before. So let me just say firstly, I don't like to ever touch this area too much because I like how clean and clear it is. This is where I sit. This is my view 99% of the time I'm in here. I'm playing games. Life's good. This side of the room is what I consider to be more like a museum. And I genuinely think it looks better than ever with those changes that we've implemented over here. But I get a lot of comments in the comment sections that I'd like to address. A lot of people say to me, firstly, you need a new room. You need a bigger room. Yeah, I need a bigger house, bigger bank account, bigger car, bigger biceps, right? It's just not the way life works. You have to sometimes be appreciative of what you have. Now, a lot of investment financially, emotionally, physically has gone into the building of this room. I realise how fortunate I am to have it. So for me, it's about making the most of it. There is a potential way it could be extended in the future, but you know, there's other things in life that I have to prioritise over my video games room. So yeah, it's not going to happen anytime soon, although there is a potential 4.0 which could happen, but we're not talking anytime soon, that's for sure. Where was we? Yes, also, a lot of people say to me about these areas. The ceiling, the slopes, why don't you put things here? Why don't you put standees here? I don't expect people to be able to gauge the room or the feeling of the room the way that I can in person. It doesn't always convey the same on camera, but when I stand here and say I don't want the room to be cluttered, it might sound daft because look how much stuff's in the room. But it still feels open, it still feels spacious, it still feels like a nice space to come in, relax. This is my happy place, right? And a large part of that, I think, is due to the high, clear, open, fresh white ceilings. It's still a very nice feeling room to be in. And this is the reason why. So that's why I don't want to fill it with standees and pictures and whatever else up here. People say I could put some sort of adhesive on games, like game protectors in theory. I could put Super Nintendo and I could line them up on there, and who knows, maybe one day we'll explore it. But for now, I think it's integral in keeping this game room looking at its best, that they stay clear and fresh. And it's always a great feeling to finish the vlog with the room looking better than ever. And let me know in the comment section what you think of this new section that we've put in. So yeah, that is going to do it for another Ghetto vlog, and it's just another week of doing what we do, right? Hunting, finding new stuff, finding new ways to make this game room better than ever, and enjoying the process along the way. And yeah, that's exactly what it's all about. Thank you, as always, for everybody that's taken the time to watch. I just want to say before I go, I've seen a sneak peek at Kev's games room. Now, Kev's been very busy turning that into what could be the best games room I've ever seen. We're going to be filming it in a couple of weeks' time, so keep it locked to the channel. I cannot wait to go and see it in person, because the small clip I've seen, I shared it on the Ghetto Gang Discord, and this is some of the reactions that I got from just sharing like a 5-second video. It is unreal. It's taking it to a new level. So yeah, we'll be sharing that real soon. Speaking of the Ghetto Gang, if you do want to get involved, there will be a link below to join. And if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. But as always, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your Sunday, play your games, keep it retro. I'll see you all in a bit. Take care. Well, that was a nice find in that charity shop.
Lock into the retro ghetto. Come and have a look around the ghetto. We got Sonic and Staples settle. Lock into the retro ghetto.